Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, financial maestros and dear number crunchers, and welcome to the Wind Insights Essential Training Series. I am a CFA charter holder and a client achievement specialist at Wind Information. Welcome to what I like to call the Excel Escape Plan workshop. You know, the one where we finally break free from the tyranny of spreadsheets that seem to take over our lives. Have you ever spent hours staring at a sea of numbers, wondering if there's a faster way to get them to tell a story about the industry or about the company? Or maybe you have hit the limit on how many times you can copy and paste without wanting to toss your keyboard out of the window. Well, fear not, because today is about turning that spreadsheet frustration into a thing of the past. We're going to dive into the Winged Excel Add-in, a tool that's here to save the day and make your data dance to your tune. No more endless scrolling, no more crying over formulas that refuse to cooperate. We are going to turn you into an Excel ninja, someone who can whip up a top-down research report in the time it takes for a cup of coffee to go cold. So let's get this party started and turn those spreadsheets blue into a whole lot of green. The money saving, time saving, stress saving kind of green. Let's buckle up and make Excel our friend. Before we experience capability of this powerful Excel add-in, I would like to briefly introduce us Wind as a company. Founded in 1998 and headquartered in Shanghai, Wind Information is a pioneer and a leader in Asia's financial information service industry, serving a diverse range of domestic and foreign institutional clients from 35 countries. So our product and data matrix surely can enhance your efficiency dramatically. Let me first guide you through what we will cover here. First, our first stop is an introduction to the Wind Excel add-in. We will cover its core functionalities and how it integrates with your existing Excel environment to simplify tasks. Next, we will delve into macroeconomics and industry data through case studies. This section will equip you with the tools to dissect and understand the broader economic indicators that shape financial markets. Lastly, we will explore advanced functions within the Wind Excel add-in. Here you will learn to leverage sophisticated Excel functions to perform complex analysis with ease. Alright, without further ado, let's meet Wind Excel add-in. I hope you are all ready to take your financial analysis to new heights with the power of the Wind Excel add-in. Whether you are dealing with mountains of data or need to make quick, informed decisions, this add-in is your secret weapon. Let's dive into how it can transform your daily tasks into simple, efficient processes. Imagine you need to analyze a portfolio consisting of dozens of stocks. Batch data extraction tools let you import all the necessary data with a single click, setting the stage for your analysis. Once your analysis is complete, sharing your insights is as easy as pie. You can export financial analysis and datasets into polished reports with just one click, ready to be shared with clients or your team. Now let's say you need to keep an eye on how your investments are performing as the market fluctuates. Our real-time market monitoring features keep you informed, ensuring you can react promptly to any change. To visualize your findings, the chart insertion feature lets you drag and drop charts directly into your spreadsheet. This means no more complicated crossover between tools. You can present your data seamlessly within Excel. As you manage multiple portfolios, our Excel add-in helps you track and compare their performance, identifying trends and opportunities that can guide your investment strategies. Finally, the add-in's applications provide targeted tools for specific tasks, such as financial forecasts, which can help you anticipate market movements and align your strategies accordingly. By leveraging these features, you will transform your Excel capabilities, turning it into a comprehensive financial analysis tool. And now let's see how they can revolutionize your work. Specifically, These scenarios we discussed could be fulfilled by the functions of the wind exciting, and they can be categorized into 6 sections: macroeconomic data, data wizard, applications, time series, utilities, and search functions. These might seem a little bit abstract, so why not explore them together within Wind Exciting? If this is the first time for you to visit Wind Exciting, please make sure that you are already run repair Excel adding in the Wind Financial Terminal, just as what we did the last time for Wind Word add-in. Just please go to the Start menu of the Wind Financial Terminal and please click on Repair Excel add-in under the little Wind tag. Then you will be automatically navigate to the Wind Excel add-in on the Wind tag. We will have access to over 7,000 function indicators covering all asset classes with a global coverage with the help of Wind Exciting functions. Wind Exciting can also bring time series data at your fingertips, no matter it is security data or macro data. I believe many of us are familiar with the statistical reports in Wind Financial Terminal like SMO, BMO, and they are available right over here within Wind Exciting if you visit datasets in the data wizard. So these are merely the tip of icebergs of Wind Exciting, and you can extract macroeconomic data and various applications for financial modeling and asset management with a few clicks of your mouse on the Wind Excel add-ins. Alright, much has been discussed about the interface and how powerful the Wind Excel add-in is. Let's explore Wind Excel add-in together. Suppose we are doing a top-down research on the Chinese utility sector, which has been a jewelry in the crown for QFII investors, especially some sovereign funds or long-only pension funds due to the high dividend payout and the resilient cash flows of the industry. And Wind Exciting can empower us equity research analysts to conduct a top-down research within the scope of Excel. Before we dive into the top-down approach, we can see how did the wind utility sector doing year-to-date in 2024. We can insert chart in the Wind Excel, which supports price chart generating for all asset classes from stock to bond to futures to fund, but also helps us to do macro analysis in one hub. In this case, let's insert the utility index right over here and superpose another index, for example, Wind Asia index as the benchmark. Or we can customize the superpose in the search bar, for example, CSI 300, whatever you need. Then make sure the time frame starts all the way back from January the 1st. There we go. Then Wind Exciting will instantly let us know what's going on when we click the done button. Or if you are not satisfied with the outcome, you can click on edit and reselect the index, and you might want to revisit the date and set it maybe to 11 the 12th. Then we can also set the chart accordingly when we click the done button. Then we will instantly get what we show right over here. The industry we cover or the utility index has shown a strong performance in 2024, outpacing the Wind All China A index. We can tell that after an initial dip, the utilities index recovered and showed steady growth, and then consistently outperformed the Wind All China A index, especially in August. Later in October, the utility index rebounded with a significant surge, indicating a strong finish and positive outlook. In contrast, the Wind All China A index has a more muted performance with less dramatic growth. Cool. So why can the utility sector, which is often considered a sunset industry, defy the overall market adjustment and soar together? This is what we will explore together next. Is it due to the continuous improvement in the overall performance of the utility sector? Let's review the financial performance of the utility sector next, as the industry's fundamentals can also affect stock or index performance. And this time, we could turn to another chart called Securities Guide to build a multi-dimensional analysis chart. First and again, we can search for the utility index, and then we could search for net income and operating revenue. And make sure you set the unit accordingly. There we go, and operating revenue into billions. All set. The second step is set up the period to quarter data and the time period to start from the first quarter of 2023. There we go. We can also add revenue as the line chart to the secondary axis over the customization period. For example, we can change it to the line chart and add it to the secondary axis. We can also have net income to show as a column chart. Then when we click done, we'll get the data and all the charts. There we go. So we can instantly know that the utility sector has shown significant growth in net income and operating revenue from the first quarter 2023 to the third quarter 2024, indicating a strong financial performance. And the sector's resilience is definitely evident in its ability to maintain growth despite market volatility, which has contributed to its outperformance compared to the Wind All China A index we just showed. The consistent financial growth and the sector's role in supporting increased electricity demand, especially for AI data centers, have been key factors in its successful years. Now we know the performance for utility sector. The next step for us is to search for macro data for the industry. You can either go to the time series data for the periodicity, or, and it is more recommended, you can click on the economic database, which is exactly the same core function of Wind Financial Terminal, to access the powerful tool where you can gain access to over 10 million indicators from a global coverage and from industry databases. The approach is quite intuitive. Let's just search for indicators you need for the industry. In this case, we can search for elasticity ratio of electricity consumption, China GDP year-on-year growth, and the China electricity consumption year-on-year growth. And then we can set the time range before we turn these static data into a chart. Then we can click on chart to go for chart. Here, we can highlight different phases by adding the filled rectangles on the bottom left corner, and we can also add text to add explanations. And we can instantly know that from 2000 to 2011, it has witnessed a rapid economic growth with electricity consumption outpacing the GDP. And from 2012 to 2019, the years has seen slower electricity consumption growth relative to GDP, as it is the economic transition phase. For 2020 onwards, China has reported 4 consecutive years of electricity consumption growth, which is in the red line, outpacing the GDP growth, which is in the yellow line. And this could be a reason why the utility sectors outperformed the whole market in recent years. Reviewing the past 2 decades, there is a strong correlation between electricity consumptions and GDP, but the growth relationship between the two is influenced by various factors such as economic cycles, industry structure change, and energy supply structure, showing cyclical characteristics. According to past logical inertia, with the optimization of the economic structure, the growth rate of electricity consumption should be lower than that of GDP. But the actual trend, we can tell, is the opposite. And it is the same case for the US. If you dig into the phenomenon with our other functions in the wind financial terminal, you will find out that the rapid development of emerging industries and the robust industry restocking led by related sectors are the main factors contributing to this phenomenon. Besides, if you want to further crunch the numbers, make sure you click on the export to extract the data directly to the data worksheet. And you can definitely take this chart to get a chart as well, like this. And we will get the data we just showed. Alright, so besides from waiting for the Bureau of Statistics or listed companies to disclose specific power generation data to make investment decisions for the utility sector, can we observe such trends through some leading indicators? Absolutely. Hydropower and coal power are the main contributors to the performance of the utility sector. For instance, we can monitor the inflow of water at the Three Gorges Reservoir through economic databases to assess the performance of the hydropower industry. And this data can be monitored daily using WinExcel add-ins. This time, we could use the time series data wizard to extract this industry data. Click on time series and select periodicity. Then we can select from securities data or economic data. Since we want economic or industry data this time, select economic data and tick select all. Enter the indicator name or some keywords to do fuzzy search, like we can search for Sanxia or the Three Gorges to get what we need. There we go. We can get this inflow data. Then the next step is to set all the parameters accordingly. We can set the cycle type to monthly for better exhibition. There we go. And we can also set the time period from the beginning of 2023. There we go. We just click next and finish. Then we get all the data we need right over here. Then we have all the monthly data since the January 2023. And then we can quickly calculate a year-over-year change right over here within the Excel, using the Excel functions. And we can quickly expand the formulas to apply to all the months, and we can convert them to the percentage number. There we go. Then we can simply apply a data bar conditional to make it more visible so that we can instantly know that in 2024, the water inflow into the Three Gorges tremendously increased, especially for the April and for June, which could mean higher power generation from hydropower this year. And the truth is, hydropower generation did surge 38.7% year-on-year in the second quarter 2024. So we definitely can leverage WinExcel for predicting the trend, as the macro and industry data are highly correlated with operational data in the industry. So with the WinExcel, we can track both macro data and industry data to fulfill our various research needs. Alright, we have done macro and industry analysis. The final step is to use functions embedded in WinExcel to finish up our bottom research part, which is listed company research. Basically, the formula function within WinExcel empowers you to gain access to over 7,000 indicators for any asset classes with a global data coverage. If we want to know the latest data of a company, just use the search function. For example, if we want to know the P ratio of the largest hydropower company, CYPC, China Yangtze Power, we can click on search and type PE in the search bar. The next step is pretty intuitive. Just enter the ticker or WIN code of the company and the trading date. For example, 600900 in this case. And we can set the trading date to 2024 11th of November. Then this 19P ratio is what we need for the CYPC. And you can play with the formulas to edit the company ticker to switch to another company, or we can click on the edit button for further revision. But what if we want to view all the data for the companies in the utility sector at the same time? We might use more advanced techniques. We can get this done with the help of Win Excel add-in utilities. First, we can make use of insert codes function for batch code generation. For example, we could insert wind industry and wind utility industry by selecting the industry and add them all to get all the company ticker and the company name within the utility industry. The next step, we might want to specify a date for quick data extraction. Date 2024 November 11th. There we go. Then let's say we want to dig into the largest company in terms of the market cap in the whole industry. How can we do it? Easy. We can just have to select and click on the search function again, and this time we can search for the market cap. There we go. Then we just have to set all the parameters accordingly and use some Excel tricks to lock the unit cell. For example, we can select the WIN code accordingly, and we can select the trade date. Just remember to set the unit maybe just to 1 billion Chinese yuan, and there we go. We can further use some Excel tricks to keep the cells locked. Just press the F4 button on your keyboard to lock in the B1 unit, and we can just expand the formula by click on the bottom right corner of the cell to expand the formula and get all the market caps for the companies within the utilities industry. Then we can sort the data in a descending order or in ascending order. We can instantly know that the Chinese Yangtze Power, or CYPC, is the largest one in terms of market cap in the industry. And we can definitely search for other indicators like PE, like ROE, PCF to further our analysis or company screening. Alright, since we have examined all the listed companies in the utility industry, we might want to dig into the profitability and other financial metrics of a single company. Let's take the most representative company, China Yangtze Power, CYPC, we just screened out, whose second largest shareholder is Shanghai Hong Kong Stock Connect, namely those global funds. We can leverage the financial analysis function over the data wizard, and then we can just enter the company ticker or the abbreviation CYPC in this case, then select the data templates we need. For example, the 3 financial statements, income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statements, to avoid hard coding these data into the Excel sheet. What's more, we can break down the performance results by segments. Right over here, sales segments, and click on the segments by measure. Alright, Then we can click on next to set all the reporting period and things like units, maybe in millions, and we can click on finish to know about CYPC more. And we can instantly know that the China Yangtze Power has reported a stronger gross profit margin in 2024, the third quarter, compared with 57.8% of full year 2023, which we may already have known given our early analysis of the macro and the industry environment analysis. So this is no magic to us if we have already done the macro and industry level analysis. So in 2024, the stock price of China Yangtze Power did soar, significantly outperforming the broader market. Especially, the market treats it as a bond-like defensive asset. Due to the continuous decline in the discount rate on the denominator side, the cash flow value for China Yangtze Power is highlighted, and this logic is actually bond-oriented. However, we as investors may wonder, based on the current valuation level of China Yangtze Power, is it undervalued or overvalued? Today, we won't provide investment suggestions, but we can use China Yangtze Power's historic data to compare it within the long river of time. All right, the PE and PB bonds function within Wind Excel add-in can greatly help us with it. We can click on time series and then turn to PE/PB bands for help. The process is pretty intuitive. Just type in ticker 600900.Shanghai and select the valuation method and data frame. After these settings, click on Run button to generate PE/PB bands accordingly. Currently, we can tell that China Yangtze Power's valuation has reached the upper end of its 5-year PE bands. But if we switch the valuation indicator to price to cash flows, we can tell that the PCF bands still suggest that China Yangtze Power's cash flow is not expensive relative to its own historical levels. Whether China Yangtze Power's valuation is expensive or not depends on whether you value this profit growth or its continuous and abundant cash flows. We can also click on the evaluator under the applications part and follow the similar pattern and follow the instruction page. We can build a financial model for China Yangtze Power from scratches and check whether it is undervalued or overvalued based on absolute value valuation. All right, we have deep dive equity research data from top macroeconomic data to mid-industry level data and the bottom company data. We have also gone through the whole process of company financial analysis, company relative value analysis, and company absolute value analysis. Hope you have enjoyed. I will stop here and leave the joy of exploring this powerful data add-in within Excel to you. Without further ado, please kindly let me know if you have any questions related to the Excel word add-ins or equity research process in the comment area. We still have a few minutes for a Q&A session, so please do not hesitate to ask any question right over the comment area. Thank you. Alright, seems everyone is very satisfied. So many thanks again for your warm participation, and please stay tuned for our essential training series in 2 weeks. Thank you and have a good one. Goodbye.